Good morning. We'll call this meeting to order. If you're able, please stand and join me for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Thank you all for coming. At this point, I would entertain a motion to approve the regular meeting proposed agenda. I'm not aware of any changes to the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Haltz.
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Phobie. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Do we have anyone for open forum this morning?
There is nobody signed up, Chair.
Okay, no one for open forum. The next item will be the consent agenda. I'm not aware of any changes to the consent agenda or anything being pulled. At this point, would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Moved by Commissioner Gray,
I'll second.
seconded by Commissioner Danlowski. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, none. Motion carries. Let's see. Regular agenda. Announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Just a few short announcements as we get going here for the day. First of all, Towards Zero Death has just kicked off its new major fall campaign. It'll be running here through Labor Day. A lot of good information on making sure that we're safe on our roads and highways. So we'll be posting that as on the website and getting information out on Facebook as well. Second of all, in addition to the meetings that you've noted, just a reminder that the NACO Central Region meeting is coming up here. It is, make sure I get this right in case you're interested. So it is this afternoon. If you are interested and are not participating already, let me know. I'll send this out again to you. But the Central Region is a virtual meeting for those of you interested in participating in that. Also, the Elk River Area Chamber of Commerce reminds you that there will be a ribbon cutting at the Boys and Girls Club tomorrow at 3:15 for those who would like to attend that as well. And then finally, the Sherburne History Center will be having new events hosting starting on September 28th called Fall Fest. And I believe you all got the information electronically. If not, again, let me know and we will make sure you have it as well. With that, I'll stand for any questions you have, but those are the highlights for announcements.
Mr. Chair, can you send out that Boys and Girls Club information, please?
I sure can.
Thank you.
That'd be great. Any other questions or commentary at this point? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to our regular agenda. The first item on the regular agenda is conduct the oath of office for the appointment of Mr. Larry Fonder as the Sherburne County Veterans Service Officer. So if we could all move off to the side.
However you want it.
Larry, do you want to center? You good? Okay.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Larry James Fonder,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties of
discharge the duties of
Veterans Service Officer
Veterans Service Officer
in the County of Sherburne,
in the County of Sherburne,
State of Minnesota,
State of Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jefferson, one more.
And then Larry has some family and friends here, so if you guys want to come and join.
Dad, Kathy,
Yeah.
Chrissy, if you wouldn't mind coming up.
We'll do family and then add staff too.
Yep.
Do you want commissioners with you, or do you want just family?
Just stay, yeah, by all means,
right.
yeah, yeah.
And then family?
Oh, I know, I do want, I will pay extra for the autograph. I do. No auto pen, It's got it. Yeah, if you guys want to just come right in.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Double
Then Christie, if you want to just go
Yep,
this
that's
side of my
perfect.
brother, Dad, and Kathy.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Dad, you gotta pinch Larry's cheek like you used to.
Yeah.
Not his cheek, his ears.
His ear, oh yeah.
No,
not that cheek.
Disappear right off the end.
Cozy up, there, cozy up.
Are you okay? Yeah.
Wrong
way, stack it like
dominoes. Got cozy up.
We're all good. Turn this way a little bit, Dad.
All
Move it
right.
to the side. There we go.
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
You're even in focus. Outstanding.
Just want family now?
Yeah, so just do
We can all
family.
step away.
Sure, we'll do a quick
Just do
family moment, right? We don't have a lot of those, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you.
all ready.
And then Larry, if you can stay there, we'll get the office up here, so.
Yeah, thank you. Gotta go up.
Mike's listening ears.
What do we do? It works, I guess. Stack it, right? There's four of us, so there's not really a center. This way? There we go. You're right. Sure. Yeah, excellent, thank you.
And then, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, with your permission, Larry, I'd like to just say a few words of introduction.
That'd be great.
So thank you, and thank you all for coming to this occasion. I greatly appreciate it. One, I wanted to start with the county administrator and the county admin. I want to say the professionalism that I experienced going through the hiring process was absolutely fantastic. That set the tone and convinced me that I wanted to be a part of Sherburne County. So thank you very much for that professionalism. I greatly appreciate it. To the board, thank you for your vote of confidence in me. And I greatly appreciate the time that you put in as well to the hiring process. Once again, the fact that 2 standing board members were actually involved in the hiring process told me that Sherburne County absolutely values its veterans, because even the commissioners are putting the time in to make sure their county veterans get the best person for the job. To our partners, I just want to say that no veteran is purely helped only by the County Veteran Service Officer. It is members of the community. No one asks you to or pays you to be a part of Beyond the Yellow Ribbon. No one pays you to become a Legionnaire or to serve in the VFW. But all of those people come forward because they have the same purpose, to help veterans. And I hope to continue those partnerships with everyone so we can reach out and get to all the veterans and their family members that we have here in Sherburne County. To the shop, Mike, Erica, Josh, some may say that you were without leadership during that gap, but I know that every one of you stepped up when the time was needed to deal with all the different leadership items. I know you went through a budget process. There was legislative inquiries, there's resource demands, and you maintained partnerships. And I thank you for all of that effort that you put in, and you still didn't fail our veterans. You still serve them extremely well. And I look forward to being a part of the team and taking some of those burdens off of you and providing leadership and mentorship alongside you. And I very much look forward to our relationship. And to the veterans of Sherburne County, I want you to know that I will help maintain a culture of openness and a culture without judgment. We're veterans. We make mistakes. Everybody does. But those mistakes or things that may have happened during service shouldn't preclude the fact that you took the oath to support and defend the Constitution. So if you took that oath, you should come and visit us. Let's see what benefits and opportunities are out there for you. We're going to take a look. As far as we're concerned, a veteran is a veteran is a veteran. If we can't immediately serve you with benefits, then we're going to find somebody that can. We're going to partner with those in the community as well as the other resources within Sherburne County to find you assistance. And for those of you that may have forgotten that you're veterans, remember it. There are so many out there that no longer consider themselves veteran. Many women veterans don't bother to come forth. Many veterans of different backgrounds may feel overlooked. This is a space for you to come in and talk to us, and we're going to help you out. And finally, to my family, thank you for being here today. To my dad, brother, as well as Christy, a friend from the American Legion. I appreciate everybody being here. I know through my career, you never really got to see any of the achievements that I made because I was always away in the military. But I can tell you, this achievement is one of my proudest, and I'm glad you're here to share it with me. So to all, thank you again, and I look forward to serving the veterans and family members of Sherburne County, as well as everybody else within Sherburne County and partnering with all the different organizations and departments. And I'm thankful to be a member of this team and for this opportunity. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much and welcome aboard. Thank you. Glad to have you. Okay. So moving on, we're going to receive an update on the Retired Seniors Volunteer Program.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Jennifer Wicker. I'm the director of our local AmeriCorps Seniors RSVP program. So Sherburne County has been such a strong partner and supporter of this program, and we're very thankful for that. I just am excited to be here today to share with you the impacts that this program has made in the past year. And so with that, I'd like to start off by just sharing some statistics and just wanted to bring us back to our demographics with a recent profile of older adults in central Minnesota. It was put out by the Central Minnesota Council on Aging, indicates that our region anticipates a 26% increase in the senior population between now and 2040, with a staggering 56% rise in our 85 and older population. So with those numbers, coupled with the CDC's report on an alarming 1/4 of our adults 65 plus are socially isolated and lonely. And that is, of course, linked to serious health conditions as well as early death. So as our region faces these demographic shifts, RSVP will continue to play an important role in our communities here in Sherburne County to meet the growing population and their needs to be connected to community and stay active with purpose. Currently, our program supports 1,122 volunteers in our region. It's 4 counties of Sherburne, Benton, Stearns, and Wright, and we're dedicated to helping others enhance human service organizations. In 2023, these volunteers supported close to 150 local organizations that are nonprofit licensed healthcare and government entities, working to strengthen food security programs, increase K-12 academic engagement and education, supporting aging in place programs and companionship services, transportation for those in need, and through other health and wellness programs as well. We see and hear day after day that spending time in service to others goes far beyond meeting these critical human needs and critical community needs. In a recent, our volunteer satisfaction survey we conduct every year, we had a really high number of participants this past year. Perhaps it's because we came back a few times asking for completion of our survey. And so we had 420 of our senior volunteers complete our survey in just this past January. And the pictured there with all the percentages, you'll see that there's really high satisfaction and enhanced sense of meaning and purpose by being involved in this program, improvement of physical and mental health, and the social connections as well. The survey results really parallel the Mayo Clinic's highlights that adults age 60 and over who engage in volunteer experience report better physical health and decreased heart disease, stroke, and general illness compared to their non-volunteer peers. The positive impact extends to mental health as well and lower rates of depression and anxiety. So in Sherburne County this past year, you will see where older adults are finding where their passions meet their purpose. With the help of RSVP. We had 210 active volunteers in Sherburne County, and they supported 34 different organizations in our communities here. Pictured on the top left, you will see volunteers teaching mindfulness and breathing techniques to program participants at Options. And then you will see a group of volunteers conducting a community food drive to generate additional food for the Big Lake food shelf. Next, there are volunteers pictured that were involved in our 9/11 National Day of Service events last September, honoring our local first responders within Sherburne County. And then on the bottom left, there is a group of, it's an intergenerational programming that we have held at Thumbs Up, which included a facilitated discussion with the youth, as well as a group service project to promote service in an intergenerational concept. And then the last 2 photos you'll see are reading volunteers pictured at our local schools. And this past year, RSVP volunteers supported the literacy efforts of K through 5 classrooms in 12 different schools in Sherburne County, connecting with over 2,000 students. This is a complete list of the organizations that we're currently serving in Sherburne County. And our area senior volunteers consistently express that the social connectivity is and the diverse service opportunities that they can pick and choose from are the program's greatest assets. They're involved in both one-time community events as well as ongoing weekly and monthly volunteer roles within these organizations. Next, I would love to introduce you to Mary Robinson, one of our very own Elk River and Sherburne County residents, who will share with you the impact and what the program means to her.
Thanks, Jennifer. I'm not used to public speaking, but bear with me. Thank you. I've been with RSVP for many years. It was a great transition for me from retiring from working to contributing to the community in that way. There are many opportunities. There are long-term opportunities that you can do, which I was with Handkey Pre-K for 2 years before COVID, and I was with Thumbs Up in Elk River and benefited from RSVP and their age because my daughter reached the age and she and I could volunteer there together. There are short-term, just go up to the brat stand in Big Lake for 3 or 4 hours. So there are many areas that people like myself can help in. And the benefits of doing something like that is we're still contributing to society and benefiting from making new friends. I certainly appreciate this time to be able to share that with you because it's been a very important part of my retirement. Thank you.
Thank you very much for helping and serving.
Thank you, Mary. So we're grateful for the funding that we receive from Sherburne County and the support from everybody here. I echo the professionalism of the staff and the board, and we're just very grateful. Your contributions have allowed us in the past to provide that personalized experience. So, our program coordinator, Carol McNaughton-Commerce, that office is here out of the government center, is able to meet with every individual that's interested in serving to find out what their interests and skills and availability are, and then match them up with positions in the community based on that, as well as the needs. Investing in people who are investing in our communities is a win-win for all of us. It's a win-win for our local governments, for the service recipients, for the individuals involved. Service builds bridges and it reinforces that sense of community. We're always interested in any further exploration that the human service organizations, as well as the county and stakeholders, on any other ways that our volunteers can enhance our communities. So feel free, if you see a need, to please let us know. We are once again hosting our volunteer recognition events. We're doing luncheons in all of the communities where we get funding from and where our larger number of volunteers reside. And so we are going to be next week back here to host a luncheon at the Government Center for Sherburne County volunteers. It's on Tuesday, August 27th, and we would love to extend the invitation to the commissioners to join us for luncheon, so you are able to visit with the volunteers and thank them for their service as well. So I will share the invitation with Keisha in hopes that she can get it out to all of you. Oh, she just sent it, of course. Thanks, Keisha. So please join us if you're able. And at this time, I will turn it over to you for any questions or comments that you might have.
Well, thank you very much for the update. Anyone have any commentary?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for the work.
Thank you for having us.
Yep, and thank you. I just love to see all of the active volunteers and just the joy they bring to the environments that they come into is very much appreciated. Everything you do is so good to give back to the community, and I love to see them reading to the little kiddos at the schools and stuff. That is super cool.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Thank you.
we're really happy to be back in the schools. It's kind of been a slow and steady process to get back and mentor and tutor and assist with reading. So that just continues to expand and grow, especially with the help of Carol. All right, thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So the next item on the agenda will be consider approval of a solid waste license for right-of-way salvage yard. Good morning.
Mr. Chair, I'm going to have June present this topic.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the board. My name is June Volkers. I'm a hydrogeologist in planning and zoning. Today, I am going to talk about right-of-way auto and their license. Right-of-way auto is an auto salvage business located in Big Lake. They've been in service for about 40 years and for over 2 generations. So in accordance with the solid waste ordinance, the right-of-way has submitted an application to operate a processing facility in the county. Salvage yards are considered a processing facility and are regulated under the solid waste ordinance. So this license sets forth standards for receiving, screening, storage, and processing of motor vehicles, parts of motor vehicles, covered electronics, electrical devices, and other types of recyclables as defined in the solid waste ordinance. So this license also sets forth standards for how unacceptable waste items are to be managed. The license is for 1 year, expiring in August 30th of next year, 2025. Does anybody have any questions about the right-of-way or the license?
Mr. Damleski?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One question in regards to the 1-year licensing. So then they would apply again? Is there any thought process that it would get extended beyond a year for licensing?
Yeah, we do the first year of the license is always 1 year, and then after that, then we would do a 5-year license for this facility.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner, that's a very good question. The ordinance requires that your first year, and that allows for staff to work with the facility, determine if there are any changes that need to be made in a license going forward.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Outstanding. Any other questions? Mr. Vessel?
Thanks, June. Just a couple of questions. Approximately how many facilities are in this class of license? Just, ballpark guess. And then do you see compliance issues with previous facilities that, we have to deal with in the later?
For salvage yards, we just have 2 so far. We have this facility and also Hans over on the south part of Elk River. And what was the second question?
A couple of years ago, I know staff brought up some pictures of, I think it was like a junkyard area with motorhomes and stuff that we're working to get cleaned up. Do the salvage yards, by their nature, result in compliance issues down the road, or do you think that generally we have a pretty good handle on that?
I think that in general, like, if you're, we have a pretty good handle on that. They're trying to operate a profitable business, so keeping a well-screened facility and also just keep inventory, at a manageable level is something that we would want to work with for a salvage facility.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? No, I just think salvage yards are very helpful. I mean, it kind of helps keep buildups down because you've got someplace local you can get these vehicles that aren't running anymore. And so it really facilitates our ability to recycle and reuse.
Mr. Chair, and definitely speaking to having been married to someone who has utilized salvage yards quite often in the auto body business, they are very important, they're a very important part of a process in the recycling capabilities for what could end up in landfills that they'll do reuse or get rid of it in the proper manner. So if I can, I would be gladly make a motion to approve the licensing of right-of-way auto.
Outstanding. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Commissioner Gray seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then we're going to consider approval for additional recycling day funding reimbursement.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, good morning. I'm Maureen Mozaks, Environmental Specialist in the Solid Waste Department. And this year's recycling event days were very successful. More recyclable materials were delivered to our events than in previous years. So this resulted in several cities and townships' total eligible costs exceeding their grant amount. Staff determines the approved grant amount to the cities and townships based on a 3-year look back at eligible events, or expenses for the events. It is an average of the past 3 years. So that is how staff arrived at the $97,696 budget for 2024. After reimbursement to all the participating cities and townships, $16,496 remains. Staff is requesting additional recycling day funding to be reimbursed to the qualifying cities and townships in the amount of $9,627.90. Are there any questions?
Does anyone have any questions?
No.
There's no questions, then at this point, we entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
Moved to approve by Commissioner Gray.
I'll second.
Commissioner Danilowski seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then we're going to approve and accept the July 2024 financial report from the Auditor Treasurer. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Let's see if we can get, you want to go up one more? There you go. Okay, enclosed is your July trial balance prepared by our accounting manager, Sherburne. This does show that our general balance is behind last year's balance by $4,365,266.49. I do believe that is because of the spending of ARPA funds in the past year. That does also include $3,472,868.94 of ARPA funds and the Recorder's Compliance Fund of $479,639. If you can switch up one more. So this is the 3-page investment report that I prepare for you. Investments are above budget by $1,208,000 plus at the end of July. Interest earnings year to date total $1,966,000 plus compared to $1,511,000 last year. So we're ahead of last year by $454,940.54. That is still continuing. The rates are staying very stable. We are dropping off some of those lower interest rate investments, so we're trying to build on that. There is talk that interest rates may be dropping by the feds in September, October, November. Depending on who you listen to, they're talking about 4 interest rate cuts before year end. I'm not seeing that they're going to be able to do that, but it could happen, so things could change real quickly. We hope not, but sometimes it does. Going to move up one more. This is our summary of our investments by type and where we're at as far as average interest rate compared to last year. You can go up one more. And this is our distribution of our cash by institution for you. This is the budget to actual report by function. Just remember that it is modified accrual and not cash basis. And I think that was all I had for you. So I also just wanted to let the county know, that the board know, that on July 19th, the county did receive their first half of the county tax base equalization aid for 2024 in the amount of $2,442,226. And the county need aid of $804,988.50. The second half of each of these should be paid in December. We also received the first half of the aquatic invasive species prevention aid of $37,600. This is used to aid the prevention of the aquatic invasive species. These funds will be distributed according to the guidelines and resolutions that were adopted in November of 2014. And we have authorized the Soil and Water Conservation District to manage such funds. So we receive the funds in, they will then be turned over to Soil and Water, who will distribute them and report back to us. So, elections update. We made it through the primary elections. Things went fairly smoothly. Very small turnout as we expected, around 8% for Sherburne County. We're already starting to gear up for the generals as absentee balloting starts September 20th for that already. So we are getting in all of the candidates. State of Minnesota will canvass, I believe, tomorrow. So then we'll be able to start the process of getting those ballots prepared and ready to go. But as far as the primary, it went fairly smoothly. So our thank you to Commissioner Gregg. Observed and was my doorman for several times coming through my office with helping the election judges when they unloaded their supplies. So thank you again for your help.
You're welcome.
So the 2023 financial statement and audit is complete. We are still waiting for our date for our exit meeting that should be coming up. We have submitted the financial statement to the OSA and to the GFOA to hopefully get our continuation of our GFOA award. So each of you have had got a copy of the full financial statement. It is out on our website, and we're looking to get the abbreviated version published by next Saturday. So, any questions?
Does anyone have any questions? Commentary? Commissioner Danilowski?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to make a point on the aquatic species dollars that back in 2014, the state decided, you used to go to the state to ask for funding to help with your aquatic species needs for your lakes. And in 2014, the state decided that they were going to distribute those dollars to every county, and every county then would decide how best to use those funds to help assist with their aquatic species. So I just wanted to make sure that that was recognized as to how that came about and why we received those dollars and why we decided to turn them over to Soil and Water to manage for us.
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other comments? All righty, hearing none. Entertain a motion to approve and accept.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Danilowski,
I'll second.
seconded by Commissioner Philby. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, none. Motion carries. Thank you very much for your report. Very clear
Thank you.
and concise. Okay, so now we're on to Commissioner correspondence, committee reports, upcoming meetings, and future agenda items. Who would like to go first? Anyone?
I'll go.
Okay, Commissioner Philby.
Brief. August is a slower month generally. I attended the open house for CASA 2 and 29 up in Princeton. It's an area that's being redone. That's the southern end of Princeton, right near where the hospital in Coburn's comes in, if you've ever been up in that area. Please come visit if you haven't. Shout out to our staff for putting that on. They always do a great job. Attended the Zimmerman Communication Group that's working on just how do we communicate with Zimmerman and the surrounding region throughout the 4 different transportation projects that'll be happening in that area over the next number of years. The MICA meeting happened. We had Erin Campbell from the, she is, I should know this, Erin Campbell, Commissioner of Minnesota Management and Budget, as well as Anna Minke, the State Budget Director, came and met with us and talked about the budget coming up next year. And we're starting to work together to put our policy and budget together for our legislative ask for this next year through MICA. And looking forward to the November forecast that'll be coming out. I was at the MOB conference, Minnesota Association of Workforce Boards, as through Central Minnesota Jobs and Training, not through here, but of course that's an important part of the work we did. That was up in Duluth. Really, really great presenters and a great time to meet with other workforce boards in the state. I had a TRICAP board meeting. It was our new executive director's first. She's doing a great job. And also just wanted to announce that through our Soil and Water Office and Dan Sabalka and Gary's work, Lake Fremont in Zimmerman, which has a huge carp infestation problem. It was part of the Soil and Water Tour last year, if you were on that. And they've been working really hard to get funding to support that issue and many others on Lake Fremont. As you know, many of our lakes in Sherburne are impaired for many different reasons. That could be a whole many-hour presentation, but they got a Labs to Lakes appropriation that's going to be help to take out 400,000 pounds of carp. So I think this is going to be really exciting, and it's a lot of money. And it's really going to help the lake. The carp that are sitting in Lake Fremont are kind of an anomaly. We're not exactly sure how they're all getting there and how they're reproducing. So it's really interesting. But if you want more, Dan Sabalka can share all of that from the Soil and Water Office. But pretty hefty appropriation, and it's good for Lake Fremont. So
I think on the commissioner's notebook of phrases, we got to add that 400,000 pounds of carp is really exciting. So.
It's one of the largest infestation of carp in the state, if not beyond our state. So
It's a good start. It's a lot of carp, a lot of fertilizer.
I think we should help.
I mean,
We should help.
I don't like to eat them.
You want us to be right there and help them pull them up?
Well, I did do bow, or however, whatever you call it, fishing of carp in another life on Little Elk.
Yeah.
Went out a couple nights with a crew that harvests carp, and it's so interesting and so fun. Keisha's eyes are like wide open. I didn't get one myself, but the people that I was with, they were pulling them in, and I think we should all be out on a boat some night. So stay tuned.
Yep. Next.
I will. August 6th was the Night to Unite night, I think, but I'm completely at, my district is so large. I had 5 events and I only made 3 because 20 minutes to 30 minutes in between each event is devastating drive time. So I'm at a disadvantage there. August 8th, I did the election accuracy test with Greg. We sat and watched them go through their process and how they evolved the election equipment. August 8th was the Soil and Water Conservation meeting, also attended that. August 12th, I did the Township Board meeting, which they were very appreciative of the dollars that they received from the dedication fees for their park improvement. August 14th, I met with AMC Brian Martinson in regards to Environmental and Natural Resource Committee. And also on August 14th, Lisa already mentioned it, the MICA meeting, and August 15th, I did the planning and zoning. So that was me.
Outstanding.
All right. I'll go next. Had the county EDA meeting. Lot of activity. We had an update from Becker. A lot of things happening up there. Businesses opening. Also had an update from Elk River, same thing, very active, a lot of development happening, a lot of businesses that are coming in, so that's exciting to see happening across the county. And also got an update on the Just Transition Fund Grant Project is going to be August 12th, I'm sorry, at 5:30 at City Hall. And then Child Care Initiative, First Children's Finance Team had a brief update on that. I think everybody's aware that the state is now going to be putting somewhat on hold what they were proposing to bring forward to the legislature this coming up session. They're going to put it on hold for further research and further comment, so that was good to hear. So stay tuned that they are willing to look at what their proposed changes are going to be for our child care organizations. And let me see what else. I think that's pretty much it for, and then Cargill presented that they are working to expand their parking lot at Big Lake. And then we had a report that our housing study is about 2/3 done, so everybody's looking forward to having that finished. And I know a lot of the cities in the county are also looking forward to see what that study is going to bring forward in information. And then also did the APO meeting up in St. Cloud. We decided what we're going to do for our priorities for the 2025 legislative session out in Washington. We're going to go out and work towards getting money to help with the US 10 improvements that have been identified per the MnDOT study. Also going to look for help with the Minnesota Highway 15 and Highway 23 improvements. Also looking to support any needs that the airport might have, and reminding everybody that the St. Cloud area, Stearns County, is still looking to do a bridge across the Mississippi River up that direction. Attended the Outside Options event. Options created a very, very nice outside space for clients, and it turned out really, really nice. They had a lot of donations that came from it, and I can't say, if you have a chance, stop by to look at the site. It is just really, really impressive. And then canvass the primary election results, and overall, out of the number of persons registered as of 7 o'clock on primary election day was 64,099 residents in Sherburne County. Number of persons that were registered on election day were 191. Number of accepted regular military and overseas absentee ballots and mail ballots was 588. The number of federal office only absentee ballots was 3. And the number of persons voting in person was 0. And as Lorraine mentioned, it was a very, very low turnout, about 8%, and I think the state averaged about 12, I think was what I had heard. So I think we all knew that was going to happen. There wasn't many, I think there was, 2 choices on the ballot for seats and stuff, so not surprising there. And also attended the County Road 43 weekly update meeting. That project is progressing nicely. It looks like they are hoping to be ahead of schedule and have the detour down by August 30th and have the road open and ready to go well before school start of September 3rd. So that is nice to see, and thank you to everybody that worked hard to work on making that happen. And the weather, I think, was somewhat cooperative, and I have not heard that we're not on track to meet that to August 30th timeframe. So, and let me see, address some issues with the resident with planning and zoning. That is still a work in progress. Address some of the questions from the school superintendent in regard to 43, and that was about it.
Thank you.
Your turn.
All right, just 4 highlights for me. The first one was Night Unite, so I had the opportunity to ride with the Elk River Police Department, and that was a fantastic opportunity to go to some of the parties with the police department and see the interactions, and they did a fantastic job. The Elk River Police Department did a really nice job with that. Second, I also stopped in on the election systems testing, the public testing for the election system. 2 comments on that. One is just anytime we have that, I highly encourage the public to attend. It's the opportunity to ask questions, to learn, and to make sure that you get your questions answered. But secondarily, I know that we've published at least once some of the significant statute changes that have taken place. I just received some questions late last week from former Senator and former Secretary of State Mary Kiffmeyer, which still had some questions on some of the statutes. I think it would be valuable for us to, if there's an opportunity, to publish those again, and just make sure we're hitting on the key statutes that are really that are of significant change and are directing how we execute on some of those things. I think that's important. Third thing was the EDA, and I'm very pleased with the progress that the EDA is making. We have some new businesses coming into the county, so I think we're making very good progress there. And finally, on a more personal note, late last week I was interviewed on Fox Business with respect to some of the challenges and failures of, frankly, the governor's office with respect to the lockdowns. And so I was very pleased to be able to express my personal experiences. Thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. So for me, yeah, like everybody's covered, Night to Unite, we managed to get to 5 of the locations. They were a little bit closer together. That was a great deal. The public accuracy testing, I attended at on the 9th and the 10th. And then, like has already been mentioned, I went down to observe the Election Day operations on the 13th to watch the votes actually come in and everybody bring in their stuff at the end of the day. The main thing I want to mention with all of that is that every time I go, I am extremely impressed with the people who show up year after year to make these elections happen, and with the professionalism of the auditor's office in taking care of all this business. I mean, it's done very securely, done very professionally, and it's just super accurate. I'm very, very happy with how we do things. Let's see, and then on 8/15, we canvassed the election also, which has already been mentioned. Sat in on a Pope Douglas board meeting. They've got a lot of construction going out there. They're redoing it, which is good to see that they're going to be continuing their operation out there because waste to energy is really important. They're going to probably have an increase in their tipping fee, which is not surprising. The cost of everything is going up. I don't know why that wouldn't also. I sat through a FEMA Public Assistance Hazard Mitigation Listening Session where they're really going through the FEMA hazard mitigation system, and they're trying to get more feedback from people and look for ways to improve that and to improve services in after some sort of emergency would occur local over your community. That was really a lot harder to get out than it should have been. Still working on some waste to energy stuff, trying to get that together. Tomorrow I'm going to be at the Energy Transition Advisory Committee meeting, and we are adding that as one of our objectives is to promote waste to energy, which I'm really happy with. And I'm going to be working on getting a hold of some other folks on that and see if we can't promote that statewide. And kind of more on a personal thing, that last weekend I got to go to the rodeo and the game fair, which are 2 of my favorite things. But I did notice at the game fair, a lot of the kids walking around with their high school trap shirts on, which gave me a thought, which may or may not be a great thought. But if people are interested in the concept, or I don't know if it would be feasible or desirable to create some sort of a multi-jurisdictional high school trap field, or if it's a lot better for those kids to keep using the private trap fields. So I'm going to be doing some stuff on that because it might or may not be a good idea. And I need another project. I don't have enough going on. So that's really about all I've got.
Did you get back on either a horse or a bull at the rodeo? Or
What's that?
Did you get back on a horse or a bull at the rodeo?
No, I do not have a rodeo card, and I stay completely out of the arenas at this point in time. I got knocked out in that arena before. I don't need to do it again. So,
Better for your health.
yeah, it's better for your health. Hitting the ground at high speed turns out is bad for you. So, anyhow,
If you're done with reports, I had 2 quick questions on
Yes.
committees. Is it now okay?
Yes.
You'll recall I sent out an email about the Xcel Energy, Department of Energy's MIND advisory group. That's that Form Energy Iron Storage. I'm just wondering if anybody signed up for it. It was a self-nominating. Gary, you did?
I'm on
I
it.
think I did too.
Okay, good. Appreciate that. I just want to make sure we track that. So do you want me to check on yours, Greg?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay, so we'll add Gary, we'll put that in Keisha's list to make sure that we've got that tracked correctly. And then the second one, committee question is, let me grab it here so I get it right. The Local Mental Health Advisory Council is looking to create an advisory council in Sherburne County, and they're interested if commissioners may be interested in that. I'll send it out to you individually, but again, if you take a look at it, let me know if you're interested possibly in serving on it. It's called the Local Mental Health Advisory Council. So I'll send that out to you by email. Take a look at it, let me know, and if it's a formal appointment, we'll put it on for the next board meeting. Okay? Thank you.
All righty, outstanding. Okay, well, I guess at this point, we are going to take a break until we open our ditch authority meeting. Do we want to move, can we move that up, do we think? Probably to, is
Yeah,
10
and
minutes?
actually, staff's here, so even if you want to do that before your break, it's board's consent. If you just want to plow
work
through
for
and then
everyone?
take a break.
All righty, well then, let's move right on to the, we will not adjourn, but we will close this meeting briefly, and then we will open the ditch authority meeting. The first item would be to approve the ditch authority agenda. Can I get a motion for that?
Move approval.
Moved by Commissioner Phobie,
I'll second that.
seconded by Commissioner Gray. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries. And then consider and accept the ditch drainage technician's report. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen. Is there any questions, comments, or concerns about my written report?
No.
Okay. Pretty boring 2 months, honestly, but other than beaver issues, they finally had some water to contend with, so they were a little active. But other than that, no news is good news, I guess. Everything seems to be functioning well, even though we've had quite a bit of rain, but it's been kind of timely. So I do not have a,
Pictures, no video?
what's that?
No pictures or video?
No pictures or videos. I didn't think anybody wanted to look at dead beavers this morning, so
So Mike,
I left
what do
those
you,
out.
on a maybe personal but also professional question, what do you use to entice the beavers into the trap? Is it peanut butter?
No, that's for mice. No, he uses, they have a scent gland on the beaver.
Oh.
And Randy, the guy that I use for trapping, he puts it on popple saplings and popple branches, and that attracts them towards the trap.
Would that also work, do you think, for woodchucks?
I don't know.
As long as I have you here. Okay.
I think a 22 would be better for them.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
My friend Greg will help me with that. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Little side note there.
But yeah, he entices them with popple branches.
Interesting. Okay.
And the scent gland.
Scent gland.
Yeah, beavers are very territorial,
Yeah.
so it attracts them. And he has different traps. He has just a regular slam trap, and then he's got a coniber trap, which is he puts underwater. So when they swim through it, and he'll set up, like a channel, so that they funnel into the coniber trap, and when they go through there, it'll come down on them. And
Wow.
the impact of the trap usually kills them, but they drown, as sad as it sounds.
Yeah, but they are so destructive.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
Biggest challenge, one of your biggest challenges with ditches.
yeah,
Yeah, so this was the month of trapping beaver.
yeah, we got quite a few, so. And most of them are in culverts, so you can't take a picture, it's just dark in there. So,
Right.
close your eyes, that's what it looked like. So, my next report, we should have some video and some pictures when we do that repair, put in that inlet.
Okay. Outstanding. If there's no other questions, then I would entertain a motion to approve.
So I make a motion that we accept the ditch drainage technicians report.
Second?
Before we, motions, Commissioner Halt seconds. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, none. Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Consider and approve, next is consider approval and authorize the billing of proposed 2024 county drainage assessments. Hello again.
Hello. Of course, he's done a marvelous job of maintaining our drainage ditches, but there is a cost involved. So my ditch person in our office, Bonnie, and I did go through the costs and the available funding for each ditch, and we are looking at billing 7 ditches for a total of $68,100, and that listing is in your packet. We also included a list of those individual properties that would be billed over $100 with these billings. We include that list for you in case you get a phone call,
Okay.
which
Is likely.
you more than likely will, yes. This is fewer ditches than we have billed in the past, but they're larger dollar amounts because they're larger properties. So what I'm looking for is your approval on these billings. If so approved, they will be mailed out today to the individuals.
Does anyone have any comments on those, or could entertain a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve and authorize billing of the proposed 2024 county drainage assessments as presented.
Commissioner Phobie motions.
I'll second.
Commissioner Danilowski seconds. Is there any further discussion?
I'm having trouble pulling up the report. What's the maximum yearly billing on, for any particular property?
There is not a maximum. It is based on,
No, within the current report. I think I'm getting a
what
copy.
do you mean, per
The
ditch?
largest one on this.
Ditch 32 is being billed $30,000.
On an individual, are you asking? Okay, so I believe that Minnesota Department of Transportation was billed almost $3,000, $2,900, and that would have been on ditch 32. As far as a individual on ditch 32, we have JFK Resources for about almost $2,200. We did bill $40,000 less overall than we did last year, but we're trying to, we've got to stay in line and keep this cleaned up so that we don't incur further debt over it.
No, I just wanted to see what the schedule that you set up on spreading it over between 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years.
So when these
Yeah,
bills
that
are
was-
sent out, they have the option to pay it in full by November 1st.
Yep.
If they don't do that, then it becomes a special assessment assessed to the property. And that goes from 0 to 99.99 is 1 year. From 100 to
$999.
$999.99 is
3 years.
and anything above $1,000 can go over 5 years.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And they don't get billed any interest until it turns into a special assessment.
Okay.
The assessment's based off of per foot? Is that how it's based?
It's,
Benefited acres,
Acres.
yep,
yeah, how much, the overviewers decided what their benefited acres were and how much they benefited. And based on that, it's a mathematical equation based on the dollar amount and it's spread accordingly.
And it's larger parcels are larger number.
larger benefit.
Larger benefits, yeah.
Some of these questions make me realize, I don't know, have we ever done a ditch workshop on our ditches and how we distribute and calculate funding and things with this board? It might be a good idea. Did it many years ago, and like, I would like, I should ask Mike for this, if he can just send me the ditch map of all of our ditches, because numbers don't always make sense to me.
Yeah.
When I see names on them, I know that some of these are in my district, but
Yeah, if the board's amenable, we'll schedule a workshop and cover the ditch map and
How-
the assessment process, the viewing process, the redetermination process. The only thing we really probably can't touch is, depending on the litigation, is the ditch one litigation, so.
right, but the redetermination, that's when we did a workshop, when we did the redetermination of benefits on
Right.
a number of ditches. That,
Right.
then we did a deep dive, and it really helps you understand this whole process, and so if,
And we do have, Bonnie, you'll have to help me on this, but we do have on Beacon, there is an overlay that will show you the ditches and show you what projects are being worked on our website.
thank you.
So,
Yep, there is on the website.
I understand.
And this process of, in the ditches and the water management is kind of in the rural area what cities do in the urban area with their stormwater processes and
Correct.
stuff. And so cities and residents in cities also pay towards managing the water that affects the roads in the area in the county. So just to clarify, it's not only a rural.
it's not just rural, that's correct.
All right. Any other questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then, before you take your break, I was negligent in introducing Maddie to you, so she's sitting over there next to Keisha, Maddie Hole. Maddie is probably one of the newest employees that we have up in administration. So if you see her smiling face when you come up, she is our split position extension and then administration and does just a phenomenal job. And we'll put you on the spot if you want to say anything other than hi, your opportunity, so.
I don't think I have anything. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, and Keisha's cross-training her a little bit, so that, or training her crossly, I don't know which one, so, but getting her all up to speed on how the board runs, and so we'll have a backup for this position, so welcome, Maddie.
Welcome, Maddie.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
you're going into closed session. I'm going to excuse myself for the remainder of the county board meeting, if that's okay.
That's fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so we will be closing the Ditch Authority meeting and taking a short break, and reconvening with a closed session at, say, 10:25. Does that work for everyone? Yeah, I think we just do it here, unless everybody wants to move.
Or is she not?